This roll cage has to go. Time to cut it out. Let's do it. What's going on, guys? Matt over here, Lethal Garage, and today we are taking on the first project outside of getting the car to the Lethal Garage, but the first project of the Lethal second gen, and that is ripping out the roll cage. Now, as you guys can see, some of you guys are like, why are you gonna take a roll cage out of the car? Well, this roll cage just isn't right. It just isn't. Like, it doesn't follow any lines. It doesn't, I mean, it's in there. It is definitely in the car for sure. But for where we're going with this car, I want to be able to daily drive this car, and I don't want to have a roll cage in a car that my wife or me are going to be driving in, because God forbid she gets in an accident and isn't wearing a helmet. A head strike against a bar is just as bad as hitting a truck directly. So today we're gonna rip it out. We're gonna cut it out. And I have a couple tools of the trade. Got a nice saw for the most part and a grinder, because we're gonna just be going at it. So you can see there's metal plates that the roll cage is mounted on here and there. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. You can probably get a better view over here. But basically big metal plates that it's welded to. We're just gonna cut it off and then grind it down so it's nice and smooth and leave the plates in place, because they're not gonna hurt anything once the upholstery and everything goes on there. So let's get to it. Let's do it. Safety glasses on. I have the saw. We have our cable tied so it doesn't get unplugged. We're good to go. Let's really get to it. But I just wanted to highlight safety first. Well, that cut like butter. Let's time lapse some of these guts. Maybe wearing a sweater was a bad idea. I didn't think I'd get hot and sweaty doing this. It's freaking cold outside. It's like 40 degrees outside right now, but I haven't gotten all out yet, but here's a view of it from the front with there's just the upper arms there. And I think we're gonna leave the front poles in for now, because that's what the steering column's hooked up to right now, as you can see. So I didn't want to cut or hit the body, so I could probably cut it right here, same on the other side, just to get it out of view. And I'll leave these bars as well down low. Actually, you know what? I could probably cut those and it will still be stable, that one upper bar and the crossbar. Maybe I'll do that, but I still have to go take the hood off and cut the bars in here. So let me get the hood off, and I will, yeah, we'll go from there. Well, now it is time to go blind with the grinder for something I've never done before, i.e. cutting out a roll cage. I realize you go through blades really fast when they use good steel. So it's good to know that the cage that was in there was good steel. Lots of pieces. And also the blades aren't very good at cutting through welds. I figured that, but I did try the first time just to see if it would go through. So basically it's cut as close as you can and then grind the welds down. And that's what's gonna take some time. Now this is where it looks like fireworks. So let's just get right to the grinding wheel. Take a little bit off and then grind her down. See how it looks. Rinse and repeat. Oh. Oh. Last night was a bust. It's day 2. Basically, I didn't have the tools to change out the head of the grinding wheel. I ended up getting that all sorted, so now I'm gonna go back to grinding things. Basically, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna grind down this one corner that we were working on already, get it all nice and flat, looking good, and basically it's gonna be rinse and repeat for all the other ones. I don't think anybody wants to see me grind all, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 locations in a video, so I'll just show the one at what we're aiming to do and then go from there. So let's get to it. Rest of the metal now is just the weld. Got a little bit done, got accomplished. We got this piece, well, this piece and the weld off of here. Yes, I cut into the metal plate, but at least I didn't cut into the body of the car. So I guess I'm kind of happy the plate's there. I took this wheel here. It's kind of worn down, not much left of it, but polish this up so there's no sharp edges. Now I just have some exposed metal. I'll probably hit it just with a primer just so it's not gonna start rusting on me because we're not gonna get back to this area for a while. But outside of that, we have this side over here, which is similar. Let me get the lighting moved so you don't, God, it does not want to stick. There we go. So we have this side. So if you saw where I was cutting, like, well, why did I cut here in the first place so high? Well, the blade, I couldn't get a really good angle, and the blade was definitely not cutting the welds. The welds were just chewing through the blade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the Sawzall, basically try to cut a little bit lower. I got a whole bunch of fresh blades now, and see if we can get it a little bit lower and then grind it down. My neighbor Rich, if you don't know Rich also has a, is it 72 or 73? 73, new to him. A little further along than it. A lot further along in a Hugger Orange. So look at how many wheels we went through. I went through 3 wheels on that one side. 3 wheels. Most of it was because of my angle of attack. I wasn't being patient with it, and so it ate through the wheels or tore through, you know, rookie stuff. I'm green, I'm learning. So by the time we get to the 8th one, I'm gonna be a pro at this. So I'm not gonna time lapse or really do much else. Maybe I'll get this one last corner, see if this new method will allow us to get rid of this corner faster, and then I'll show you the end results. So let's do it. I knew this was gonna happen, so, and I was smart because I put a little screen protector on the lens, and the lens had metal pieces that basically melted it and it cracked it, like, while grinding. It was in hyper motion, so I don't know if it caught it when it happened, but I noticed it right when it did because I was like, what the heck? Because there was like light gleaming off of it. But I think the method we did the second route, or the method I did second route, thanks to Rich's plan, looks a lot better than what I did over here. Yeah, I just went like full I don't even know. I just started hacking and slashing while this looks a lot smoother and not as bad. Now keep in mind, these metal plates were added, they were welded in place to support the roll cage. So doing anything to these isn't necessarily gonna hurt it. I have a feeling cutting these out it's not hurting anything being on the car flat like that. And I think it's gonna be a lot more work and not really worth the time to cut that out. I do wanna clean them up, and we'll check on the body side when we separate the body from frame to see what it looks like underneath, but we wanna clean it up, make sure that there's no chance of rust or buildup over time. So once the car gets shot down and peeled back, we'll have a good idea of what that looks like. But we got the two trunk ones basically done. I'm gonna smooth that out a little bit more, but there's 6 more places. There's the back seat ones, the 2 front ones up by the firewall, and then the 2 on the front frame. I think the ones on the very front are gonna be the easiest to get to overall. You can see I cut pretty high because I'll just deal with that when we separate the frame from body. But these inner ones are probably definitely gonna be the harder ones of the 2. And I have to imagine not many of you are gonna have to deal with cutting out a roll cage in a 2nd gen car. So yeah, it's the first step of a million. I still haven't completed my checklist for everything to do, but I feel already really good that the cage is, for the most part, out of the car. I still have to figure out what we're doing for the dash and how we need to support it from factory, because I literally have nothing there, and that's why we've left the steering column and all that stuff in place. That's not factory at all. That's like go-kart terribleness. So we got to fix all that, rip it all out, put new in. I just got to figure out exactly how we're going to do that. So that is that. There you go. Roll cage removal, 2nd gen Camaro. In future videos, you'll see what the final product looked like, but I did find the grinding wheel. We basically used a grinding wheel instead of a cutting wheel. So we had the Sawzall, which the blades were just getting destroyed from the weld, so we stopped that. We went with the grinding wheel, which actually did okay, or the cutting wheel, sorry, I keep saying grinding. We used the cutting wheel on that side, but you see I hacked and slashed it. And then on the passenger side, we used a grinding wheel, and that actually, it took longer, it made bigger mess and more dust and smoke, but at the end of the day, it was a much smoother, better looking end result. So I'll probably end up going that route moving forward and see how the rest of it looks. But outside of that, thanks for checking out this video, guys. Car is coming along. Again, first step of $1.5 billion. Hey, look at the number, just keeps getting bigger. I think I said million earlier, now we're at $1.5 billion. So yeah. Till next time, guys. See you on the road.